It is your duty to present your data in the most truthful way possible. People can and do lie with their visualizations to deceive others. One of the most common methods is in distorting the area of charts. Here is an example from Fox News that was created in 2012. The chart here is attempting to show you the change in tax rate. It looks like a huge change, something like 5 times increase. However, if you look at the actual numbers, it's only 35% to 39.6%, a 13% increase or 4.6 percentage points. Humans tend to assume that the baseline of a bar chart is set to 0. Here the baseline was set to 34%, which is out of line with our assumptions. The creator of this graphic likely meant to deceive viewers into believing the tax rate change was much larger than it actually was. This brings us to the lie factor, a concept introduced by Edward Tufte in visual display. Yep, him again. You really should find this book if you haven't yet. The lie factor compares the size of the effect in a graphic to the size of the effect in the data. By effect, I mean the difference you're comparing. For example, you're comparing the heights of the bars in the tax rate chart, so the effect would be how much taller the right bar is than the left bar. To calculate the lie factor, you divide the effect size by the graphic with the effect size by the data. As an example of this, I'll use this figure, which is also a great example of chart junk. It's actually ambiguous which aspect of the doctor images is encoded in the data. The height, the area. It turns out the height of the doctors is proportional to the percentages, but we actually perceive the visual area as the encoding for the data. Since we're comparing the area of the doctors, I'll use that to calculate the graphical effect. Making a rectangle around this largest doctor, it's 437 pixels tall and 181 pixels wide. So it has an area of around 79,000 square pixels. The middle doctor has an area around 30,500 square pixels, and the smallest doctor is 16,500 square pixels. Let's work out the lie factor for the comparison between 1964 and 1990. The visual effect is how much larger the doctor is in 1964. That is 79,000 minus 16,500 divided by 16,500, or 3.79. So the difference between the size of the doctors is 379% the size of the smaller doctor. The effect size in the actual data is 27 minus 12 divided by 12, or 1.25. So the difference in the data is 125% larger than the 1990 data point. Dividing these, the lie factor is 3.03. Any lie factor greater than 1 suggests that your visual is misleading. The larger the factor, the more misleading the visual.